Hello everyone, and welcome back to Skyblock, the series with a huge problem. We're almost at day 500 in this world, and yet the entire time I've been living in here. I've got well over 100 hours playing on this, but the whole time I've been living in this tiny little cramped section where most of the area is 1 block wide. This is unacceptable. And so, thanks to your vote and, me wanting to, it's a new year, and so I'm gonna be building a new house. If this was real life and not Minecraft, that would probably be like the most insensitive thing I've ever said, but thankfully it's not. My plan is to build a giant mansion right here at the end of the path, and it's been my plan for a while. In fact, it's the reason that I've been moving my archival screenshots from over there facing that way to over there facing this way, so that my giant mansion will be in the frame. I've got my priorities straight. Who needs school when you've got giant Minecraft mansions? Now the thing is, this is going to be a very, very big project. And that's why I'm doing it today, when I have a lot of free time. Now before we can begin with the building, we need to fill up the building box, which is already kind of full. It's actually got a lot of dirt in it, whoa. I'm gonna empty this out, keep the stuff I need, and we can get to work. Hi Mr. B, hope you're having a good day. Well, I've cleaned it out, and here's what we've got. We've got about 2.5 stacks of oak logs, a bunch of oak slabs, and a good amount of cobblestone. If you know me, and if you've been watching the series for a while, as you can probably tell, my building palette consists of oak and cobblestone. I'm really struggling here. And if you can think of a mansion, this is very clearly not enough. So before we can get building, it's time for some resource collecting, which should thankfully be very easy. I might need to repair my axe during it though, so if you see it fully repaired afterwards, that's why. Let's get to work! Well, the material collecting is complete. In fact, there were so many blocks that the building box overflowed into this lame old regular shulker box. It's not as fun as the building box. But now, I feel pretty ready to start building. I've got some ideas in my head, but I never know how anything's gonna turn out until I actually start. So, let's do this. Well, look at that. It's definitely unfinished, and I didn't stop the time-lapse because I ran out of materials, or I got tired because of the length. Well, both of those are true. I ran out of oak logs, and it was over an hour long. I ended the time-lapse because it's day 500, and I'm not going to skip over day 500. That's the big one. The big one, halfway to 1,000. Yeah! Now, yeah, I did run out of oak logs, and I'm a little bit hesitant on this middle part because it looks a little weird, but the whole thing is coming together very nicely. Those layered back windows do look a little weird from there, but it should be fine. I'm winging mostly all of this, and so far it's turning out well. It is pretty massive, but it should look pretty good at the end. At the moment, I've got this little porch here and stuff back here, so not much. I did save a bit of blocks by using spruce because I have an abundance of it. It's kind of like a filler block because you shouldn't be able to see any of it anywhere. Like if you look in the trapdoors, spruce back there. Behind the cobblestone here, there's spruce. It's everywhere. Yeah, I was finally able to find a use for my azalea bushes, which is nice. And I got to put down a bunch of extra grass, which is also pretty nice. Once I finish the front, I'll have to tackle the sides and the interior, which is meaning this episode's probably going to be the longest one ever. But hey, I'll just have to figure out and see how that goes. So for now, it's time to get back to work, and it is getting pretty late for me, so I'm going to end my recording now. And now it's time for some time lapses, which I'm going to be doing probably tomorrow morning. See you tomorrow. The next morning, I got right to work. I finished up the exterior and the front, and then began some work on the interior. It's really nice to see it all coming together. However, it's still not finished. I've got this really fun entry hall that I was kind of dreaming about when I made this. where it's, double decker. You've got the higher thing up there, and it's just dawning on me how tall each story of this building is. But as you can see, this is very unfinished, and there will be a lot of empty space. And I mean, I don't have enough stuff to fill up this much space. So you might be wondering what I'm gonna be doing with all this space, and that is pretty simple. I'm gonna be building some automatic pumpkin, melon, sugarcane, whatever farms down there, so that when I'm in here, they can be working. But that's not happening this episode because this building project is big enough already. And just so happens, I have run out of materials again, and of course, as usual, it's the oak logs. We have buildings coming together nicely. I'm a bit hesitant on the windows in the awnings, but I'll just stick with them, and if I get any other ideas that could look good, I'll change them. But now, it's time to get some wood, and unfortunately, my tree farm hasn't regrown yet. I'll have to go with the next best thing, my forest. I hope this doesn't go terribly wrong. The longer I work on this project, the more I realize there's a lot better I could be doing with my time, because I've got finals coming up soon, and I do need to study for those, but instead I'm building a big house in a 3D block game. But at least the house is looking good. I've finished the main hall, if you ignore the big gaping hole in the back, and we've got full cathedral style ceilings, some staircases up to the side with doorways to nowhere and trapdoors to interesting places, and a useless empty spot above the front doorway. All the essential parts of a big rich person house. But there's still a lot more to go. You see, from the front, it's not exactly looking like a finished product. Hence, all of the open, gaping windows. Granted, this is one of the only filled windows, and of course, it's our good friend, the painting. So what I need to do is focus on finishing what the windows will be behind so that the front actually looks pretty good. And of course, it's raining now. But I'll let you take a guess at what needs to be done now. More wood. My deforestation project seemed to have worked well. I've gotten more big trees, which is the only downside, but I did get a lot of oak wood. And I need more, because this project is incredibly oak wood heavy. I mean, if you squint and you look at that thing back there, all you can see is the oak wood. It's just oak wood. So, I've got some more work to do. But this thing's getting pretty low on durability, so it's time to repair it. That's nice. And also, before I get back to work on this, I just want to give this for context. It is now day 507. I started this before day 500, and almost every single day in-game has been spent working on either collecting wood or building this. I hope that kind of puts into scale the extent of this operation. But, it's not done yet. So I'll see you on the other side. And by the other side, I mean the other side of this wood collecting and then subsequent building time-lapse. Not the end of the project. Because that is a ways away. This episode is not really painting me in a good light. First, I build a giant mega mansion, and then I commit massive acts of deforestation. Oh, and if you're wondering why I stopped the time-lapse, it's because I'm realizing this video is becoming very time-lapse heavy, and instead, I want to show you how I design my builds. Because almost all of this is done on the fly with no planning beforehand. And I just kind of want to show you how I do it. I promise this will be quick, then we can get back to our, time-lapse content. What I'm going to be doing is the upper hallway here. Now the first thing to do is to build a floor. I assume that's pretty obvious. But the next thing is to decide how big I want the hallway to be. It can either be 3 blocks or 5 blocks. I find that those intervals are usually pretty good, because then you have an odd center, which is pretty good for any arches or anything you want to do, because, it's a single block in the middle. So I'm going to go all the way through and, make this a hall. Now that the floor is done, it's time to work on the opposite walls. Now, when I originally built this front exterior wall, I put spruce wood here to save resources. But plans have changed, and this has to be changed to oak logs, so let me do this quickly. Once I do that, I'm basically going to try and copy this design over to here, though I might make it a little more spacious by setting the wall inset and maybe having, some shelving things, kind of like what I did right here. And look at that, you've got these all here, and a little inset for a door, because, hallways all don't go nowhere. And we've got the walls. So now it's time to work on the roof. And I've got these windows here. So what I want to do for the awnings is create little sloped roofs here and then have flat ones there, just to make it, have it like a skylight, I guess, but a horizontal sky. It's like a double window, I guess. And here we go. We've got a pretty much finished hallway. I've just got to finish the end, and this is where I'm going to do my little funny idea. And then I've got to do all the other 3 hallways. Back to time-lapse. Well, look at that. You can hardly tell that that is not a finished build. Granted, it does just look like there's a lot more oak wood, but that's just how it's always gonna look. I hope you're starting to realize just the size of this thing. But hey, at least it looks good from the front. Wait, that's not done. Well, that'll happen the next time lapse. Oh, but I may have realized that my nice, diamond pickaxe with silk touch and efficiency 5 and breaking is gone. Well, my finger slipped and I threw it into the void. Right after I repaired it using 3 of my precious diamonds. This is what happens in Skyblock, folks. You just drop your precious things in the void on accident. So now, until the end of the episode, I'm probably going to be stuck with a bunch of leftover iron axes I have from villager trading, which should be fun. But yeah, the house has some major progress. Now I'd say every interior section, except for the main hall and maybe some offshoot rooms, is completely done, which is a very good sign because this is the end of day 2 of this project. Like, genuinely, I've spent over 3 hours building this. That includes collecting resources. But, like, these recording files are going to take up so much space. This is stressful. But I need to get this done. This is not going to become a 2-part episode. Well, actually, it is, because I'm not going to build the farms and stuff. And I'm probably not even going to finish the back. Take a bit out of Green Handbook. But, I need to calm down, and I need to focus. I'm going to get some sleep first. I'll see you tomorrow with some time lapses. Also, from now on, I'm going to be skipping the wood collection time-lapses because those are basically the same thing every single time. So, you may want to see, just the building. So that's what you get now. Hope it's fine with you. Well, we're making progress. I've created a bunch of rooms, including my brand new bedroom, this random room, which I don't know what I'll do with, this other random room I don't know what I'll do with, and this third room, which I don't know what I'll do with. Okay, there seems to be a theme of a lot of rooms that I don't know what to do with, but that's kind of like most of this house anyway, so I'm just gonna go with it. Now, I've started this project 2 days ago, and it's been going for a while. In fact, I'm getting desperate. I've listened through almost all of my music. I've had to resort to listening to Weezer, so we need to finish up fast. What I need to do is finish up the end of this hall, as well as create walls and a finished roof, because otherwise it's not really a mansion, it's just like a facade with rooms behind it. And of course, this is going to require a lot more wood, and of course, more time lapses. So I want to give a bit of a break in between to, admire the most beautiful painting in the world, which I missed, the guy. I named him Lewis. So this is the checking out, and maybe I'll see you again on day 3, or maybe it'll be day 4. Who knows? Time to go back to listening to Weezer. Why am I doing this to myself? Well, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, the mansion is done. We've got the front. We've got the interior. We've got the good side. We've got the bad side. And we've got the back. Yeah, so I decided to take a page out of Green's handbook. And instead of, using it as instructions where I don't finish the back, I folded it into a paper airplane and threw it across the room. What I'm trying to say by this is instead of, building the back but not finishing it, just don't build the back at all. And to extend that, I didn't finish the roof. Because honestly, the side I'm going to be seeing the most is this corner in the right. So, why do I need to do everything over there? And if it looks good from the front, that's the thumbnail side. So, It's a good way to think about it. I'll definitely finish it in the future. I don't like leaving projects, unfinished, but, I've spent 3 days and I'm starting to lose my sanity from this build. But we are not done. We may have a house, but it is no home. I need to move all of my stuff into this nice hall here, and it should be very easy. Boom. Wait, you can't see it. There it is. Yeah, here we go. I've got blast furnace, smokers, and furnaces, as well as some chests, which have nothing in them. It was a bit of a shame to kind of mess up, the nice look of the hall, but I mean, this is a base. It has to be functional. This is Skyblock. Skyblock's motto is not form over function, it's function over form. It's why you build farms just floating in the middle of the sky, like the ugliest thing ever, but they're really good. Oh wait, I forgot something. Forgot something really important. Hey guys, we got a bit of a walk ahead of us. You're too lazy. Come on. There you go. You can do it. Oh my gosh, just get through the door. I'm trying to make you a better home here. Alright, here's your new home, guys. Don't make a mess of this place. Please don't tear up the carpet. It's pretty expensive. Well, I'd say this is a pretty complete interior. Ignore the exterior. And while it would be a great time to end the episode here, I think I need a bit of therapy. This has been a pretty taxing episode on me. I mean, this is the longest episode I've ever spent recording on. Maybe the longest episode ever, but that's like 20 minutes, I'm not sure. And it took a lot of time to make. So time to do something very therapeutic and completely destroy my old house. Except for the stuff inside. I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, this is so calming. This feels so good to do. I spent so much time building that destroying is just so satisfying. Usually destroying a build of mine isn't that great. I mean, take for example, the mob island. That was a pain to destroy. But this one actually made me happy to get rid of. I mean, I liked the house, but I mean, after building that one, I definitely need to get rid of this one. It is pretty funny seeing all my furniture just out in the open. Especially the floating dragon heads. Need to find a new home for these guys. But I think that's about it for this episode. Thank you so much if you stuck around to the end. Honestly, this is one of these episodes where I don't know how long this is. I mean, most of it's probably time lapses. But thank you for watching, and ooh, the sunset over my island. It's pretty fun. This may have been a bit strenuous, but as I've said, I'm a builder at heart. And building is always pretty fun. But I'm done now. I'm gonna go build myself a hole to die in.